Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It was 95 degrees for the high of the heat today. It's been a hot day today, but now it's evening time and things are cooling off a little bit. And we're gonna be working on a painting this afternoon of the farm and the road going down that way. Now the reason that I chose to set up and paint here today is I'm in shade. Because it's so hot today, I knew that I was gonna wait until later in the evening to get out and paint, and I really wanted to get somewhere and be in the shade. A lot of atmospheric perspective, and the road going back is gonna also make a great lead-in. This evening I'm gonna start working on 2 paintings. When you're trying to chase down the last bit of light, the golden light, for me personally, I sometimes like to work on a painting right up until the last half hour of light, and then I like to pull out a fresh canvas and really try to go after that special quality of light that happens just during that last half hour of the day. Today I'm gonna get things locked in, I'm gonna get things drawn up, I'm gonna get the first layer of a painting done. I'm basically gonna be creating a alla prima painting of the scene behind me. But then tomorrow I'll come back, I'll set up in the exact same spot, and I'll really chase down that light effect. So I'm gonna end up with 2 paintings. Hopefully it's only 2 sessions out here. And I don't always work this way, but the thing is that it's really good to have several different methods to do what you're trying to do. This is one method that I really enjoy using, especially in the summertime, because this quality of light is really a special thing. And chasing it down and really developing a painting and capturing that special quality of light is what I like to do. I'm gonna get set up, I'm gonna spray some bug spray on myself, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Look at this, what a beautiful afternoon. And it's not that hot in the shade. Let's get started. First on newsprint, which saved me in this case. I took a minute to look at it, and I realized that I wanted to have more sky in the painting. All I had to do when I transferred it to the canvases was lower it on the panel and then transfer it. That gave me more sky. So I took a little time. I did a drawing. I'm gonna transfer it to 2 canvases. That way I can work on one for an hour or so, and then pull that second one out when the light gets good. Let's check out that palette loaded with summertime colors. Up in the upper left, I've got my white. Next to that is some Naples yellow warm. I've got some lemon yellow and some cadmium yellow medium. To the right of that, we've got a couple different oranges. I've got yellow ochre, a couple reds, and a burnt sienna. Okay, the colors that I'm gonna put down are going to be a little bit different from what they're gonna end up being when the painting is finished tomorrow. In some cases, I mix colors that are more vibrant, and I'm gonna put more neutralized colors on top tomorrow. In some cases, I'm doing something that's a little bit warmer. I'm gonna place some cool colors on top of some warm colors to give more of a feeling of broken color, creating that atmospheric perspective. Anyway, for now, I'm gonna paint the whole canvas and we'll come back and react to it tomorrow. I've got my drawing transferred to the painting surface, and now I'm gonna start to scrub in some of those shapes using thin violet oil paint. If you take a look at the landscape, you can see areas where the sun is casting long shadows over the road. I'm kind of placing in all the shadow shapes at this point. The best idea is to work from the broad to the specific. So the first thing I did was divide what was being touched by light and what was falling into shadow. And now, because I have all my shadow shapes placed, I'm just going to come through and indicate all of the values and colors of the light touched masses. This is just like putting a puzzle together. It's just getting started, placing your biggest shapes. I'm working intuitively to place the colors on the panel at this point. You can see the field to the left of the barn is very orange at this point. And I'm going to come back in the next painting session and restate that orange. So every color that I put down right now is just something for me to react to. I don't want to hit the first thing right off the bat. I want to use broken color to create the painting. I've been working for about an hour on this painting, and you can see I've got the whole thing laid in. Again, a lot of these colors are going to change, but so far what I have on the palette is it's kind of the colors that I'm feeling out there. Because there's so much haze in the air, I'm going to have a great time working on top of this layer of paint, repainting the whole thing with a ton more color. There's about 45 minutes of light left. I'm trying to do this in about half an hour because it's 4th of July and Corbin and I are trying to get over to Baraboo to meet up with her family to watch the fireworks. But this is where we're at right now on the first painting. Let's start the second painting. A question might be, why not just work this painting until it's finished and be done with it and go paint out something else tomorrow instead of returning to the same location? When you're trying to capture a really specific light effect, such as the golden hour light, it can be frustrating because things change so quickly. I was working on a painting 3 days ago, and the effect that I got was kind of just like how it is now. The sun was still hanging in the sky, but by the time I finished it, I realized that there was much better light, or at least something different was happening towards the end of the sunset. As the sun sets, things change very quickly. That's why this light is very beautiful to capture. Because it goes so quickly, it's nice to be able to lay something on the panel, go home, let it dry overnight, and come back fresh the next day during similar lighting conditions and finish the painting off. It just gives you twice as much time to work, and to me, capturing this light is what it's all about. And so I'll work day after day to capture a light effect if that's what it takes. I think that every painter needs to have a few different techniques that they use. I think you should learn everything about painting, and then when the time is right, you're gonna grab that method or that methodology of working for that situation. This is sort of my take on how Claude Monet would paint, because he would return to the same subject day after day, putting on more layers of paint, building up the surface, creating broken color, and I'm interested in those same things. Impressionism is what brought me here, and I'm exploring Impressionist techniques out here in the field. So I'm gonna take this panel off, and I'm gonna start with this fresh white panel that has the drawing ready on it, and we will take it from there. The light has changed, so I scraped my palette back, and now I'm just gonna remix all my colors. Some clouds rolled in and the sun kind of went behind the clouds, but I was still able to get a pretty good lay-in for this second piece. Okay, I've got paint all over the panel and there's interesting things happening. I kind of slurred and sloshed a lot of paint together to get to this point. But the next time that I come back, hopefully tomorrow, maybe the next day, whenever it is, whenever it's sunny, I'm gonna come back through and I'm going to resolve these paintings. This is just a bunch of abstract marks on the canvas. Resolve these shapes into something that looks like a sunlit landscape. When you work on two paintings back to back, the first one might take you an hour or an hour and a half to lay in, but the second one can almost be done in a half an hour. And that's another interesting reason to work this way, is because you end up with a more intuitive application of paint and a more intuitive use of color and value. And that just happens because you're already in the mode, you're already so warmed up from the first painting, and you're just tuned in to what's happening with the landscape. And so I'm wrapping this up right now. We're gonna hurry up and get over to some fireworks in Baraboo, so we'll pick this back up tomorrow or the next day and finish this off.